A live-action Gundam movie is coming to Netflix. Hold on to your butts, Gundam fans, because 2 years after it was first announced, we have some major updates on the long-gestating live-action Gundam movie. On Monday, IGN reported that our cool corporate dad Legendary is reuniting with Kong Skull Island director and avowed anime fan Jordan Vogt-Roberts to create a live-action Gundam movie exclusively for Netflix. Netflix then confirmed the news on Twitter by saying, "Grab your mobile suits, Jordan Vogt-Roberts has been set to direct and produce Legendary's first ever live-action feature film version of Sunrise's Gundam for Netflix." Jordan Vogt-Roberts also chimed in on Twitter by saying, "A tweet cannot begin to express how excited I am by this." Now, for everyone out there saying, "This is G-Savior erasure," well, maybe it is, but maybe some things are better off forgotten.
What are we gonna do? I'm gonna go out on the G-Savior.
Besides, that was technically a made-for-TV movie. This is the first ever live-action feature film version of Sunrise's Gundam anime. Now, in addition to Vogt-Roberts' involvement, we know that Y: The Last Man and Saga scribe Brian K. Vaughan will be writing the screenplay and will serve as executive producer as well. Anyone who's dabbled in anime over the last several decades can tell you that Gundam is among the most prolific properties around, with dozens of TV series, movies, and spin-offs dating back to 1979's Mobile Suit Gundam, and it has multiple timelines that make Avengers Endgame look like Babytown frolics. Now, for those who don't know, the original Gundam series, Mobile Suit Gundam, centered on a war of independence between the off-world colonies of the Principality of Zeon and the aptly named Earth Federation that lives on Earth. Now, the introduction of mechanized humanoid weapons known as mobile suits made this war far deadlier than any other in human history, with half of all humanity dying as a result. Things begin to take a turn, though, when the young Earth Federation mechanic Amuro Ray finds a prototype mobile suit, the RX-78 Gundam, and fights back against the Zeon forces, and what follows is history. While there was an aborted attempt to make a live-action Gundam movie back in 1983, this marks our best chance yet at seeing these massive mechas come to life outside of that actual life-size moving Gundam statue right now in Yokohama. As for this movie, it's unclear which Gundam series they're going to adapt, but our best guess is going to be the original Mobile Suit Gundam series or the Mobile Suit Gundam Wing series that gained massive popularity in the US and around the world as part of Toonami's lineup in the early 2000s. Now, that said, I have a feeling they're most likely going to stick with something like the original series, at least something in the Universal Century timeline, of which Gundam Wing is not a part. But again, only time will tell. Just remember, no matter which series they wind up adapting, everyone out there asking the filmmakers to keep the politics out of this has clearly never seen Gundam, a series that showcases the human costs of war and the grueling effects the prolonged conflict have on the pilots forced to operate these massive instruments of destruction for cruel, unfeeling masters. But I digress. Now you might be thinking to yourself, "God damn it, not another live-action anime adaptation coming from Netflix?" Well, considering the irreparable psychic damage that I incurred while watching Death Note, I totally get it. But technically, Netflix isn't making this. Legendary is making it for Netflix. And between what Legendary has learned from making Pacific Rim and the MonsterVerse movies, and Vogt-Roberts' die-hard passion for the franchise, and most importantly, Brian K. Vaughan penning the script, I, for one, am cautiously optimistic. Now, consider the fact that Vogt-Roberts cited everything from Evangelion to Dragon Ball Z to Princess Mononoke as major influences on Kong Skull Island. And he even featured a prominent Akira Easter egg in the form of Hank Marlowe's jacket. So, I think we're in good hands. The dude clearly loves the source material. In addition to the Gundam movie, though, Vogt-Roberts is also attached to direct the Metal Gear Solid movie for Sony, which will reportedly star Oscar Isaac as Solid Snake, so clearly, he's one of us. As for Netflix, clearly anime and live-action anime adaptations are part of their master plan. In addition to launching 40 anime titles in 2021 like Yasuke, Dota Dragon's Blood, and Way of the House Husband, they're also hard at work making live-action TV series based on Cowboy Bebop and One Piece as well. So fingers crossed that with all of these beloved titles like Gundam and all of that, they can avoid the mistakes of Dragon Balls and Death Note's past and make adaptations that satisfy longtime fans while retaining the spirit of the original. We'll keep you up to date on all things related to the Gundam movie as we learn more, but in the meantime, tell us, what do you think of this news? Which Gundam series should they adapt for the movie? And what other anime do you think deserves a live-action film adaptation? Let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, stay tuned to Nerdist.com.